So Zanzibar is one of those places that they're small enough to make you feel like you can do all the touristic activities in no time. Yet it's one of the places that you could miss out on a lot of the touristic activities if you don't plan your itinerary well. So I've been on the island a number of times, and here are things that I've learned over time, the things that I've done differently, and how I would have planned my travels if I was to visit Zanzibar as a first timer. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariam, and in this channel I talk about like everything travels, just different hobbies that I'm exploring myself, and you guys are welcome to join me on this journey. Today we're going through Zanzibar. So for context, I live in Tanzania and the island is just like very close to me. Like I live in Dar es Salaam and the Zanzibar is just like a ferry away. So I've been to the island like a number of times and I've done like different things, but I think it's like with doing the things that you learn, like, I would have done this the other way around, and then I would have had like more fun and like I would have enjoyed my time better. So let's get into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is going to the prison island. So the first time I went to the prison island, my itinerary was Prisoner Island and Spice Farm on the same day. And that was a huge mistake because those two places are on like different sides of the island. So if I was to do that again, I would do like Prison Island and Nakupenda Beach on the same day because they're a little bit on the same side of the island. So because for Prison Island, you move from Stone Town to the island, and then we had to come back and start to travel the Spice Farm, which is also like 40-50 minutes drive. So we spent like most time on the road just because our itinerary was just like out of the way. On the other hand, if we did like Prison Island and Nakupenda Beach something, it would have been much easier because they're literally on the same side of the of Zanzibar, so that's like a bit more easier. So that's the first thing that I would have done differently. If you're going to Prison Island and you want to like add something else, just add Nakupenda on that day and then you can do other activities later. Number 2, Mnemba Island. So I've been to Mnemba Island like 3 times, but apparently like all those times I've done it the wrong way. I think the best time to go to Mnemba Island is if you go early in the morning and you're gonna see the dolphins, because I remember the first time I went to Mnemba Island, I went like a bit late in the day and the dolphins had like left already, and then it was just like any other beach. It was not giving like the Mnemba vibe that I was going for. So we went to Mnemba another time and then we went a bit earlier than last time, but still the dolphins were like on their way out. So we did not like enjoy our time as we would if we went like a bit earlier. So if you want to go to Mnemba Island, my advice would be like, make sure you go there like as early as possible. Also, if Mnemba Island is like a key item for you, I think the best thing would be for you to like find a hotel nearby on that side of the island so that it's easier for you to go there. Also, it's going to be cheap because if you stay in Stone Town and then you have an itinerary to go to Mnemba Island, that's like a trip. It's a long journey. It's a long ass journey. So like, because I remember the first time that we went, we left Stone Town around like 12-11, and then we go to Mnemba like somewhere like almost late in the day. So it's like a long journey. So you have to either move early from where you're staying to Mnemba, or the best option would be like to just stay around Mnemba and then enjoy all the Mnemba activities in one package so that you don't have like to travel around many places, if that makes sense. Number 3 is hotel as a destination. I think the way hotels are booming in Zanzibar, and now there are like a lot of good hotels in Zanzibar, I think one of the things that you could like plan to do is just going to Zanzibar and visit like a certain hotel, because I feel like even when you go to Zanzibar and then you're doing like all these other activities, in most cases you're missing out on the luxuries that the hotel can provide, because you have to be out during the day and then you come back tired, you just sleep, you wake up, you go out and do other activities. But because the hotel business is booming in Zanzibar, the hotels have more to offer than just a bed, you know what I'm saying? So I think like another way you can make your Zanzibar trip interesting is just like one of those days you could plan like the kind of trips where the hotel is the destination, and then you're just gonna book yourself, let's say, any hotel that you like, and then you get like a full board pass, and then you just like enjoy like each and everything that the hotel has to offer. I think that would be like a very like relaxing kind of trip, and it's really like worth every penny. Like, I would really watch for that because I know some amazing Zanzibar hotels. Like, so another thing that most people are actually sleeping on in Zanzibar is the museums in Zanzibar. Apparently, there are like a lot of good museums in Zanzibar. For instance, the Old Dispensary, the House of Wonders, we have the Fred Mercury Museum, and we have this Tanzanite Museum. And I think there are a lot more probably that I don't know about, but most people don't talk about the museums that you get to explore in Zanzibar. And I think the best way to explore museums is first visit the ones that I mentioned, and then just allow yourself to get lost and discover like a lot more places and museums in Zanzibar. And I think that is just like a good way to like fill in your itinerary, especially if you're in Stone Town and you have like no activities. These are some of the activities that you could actually like add on to your itinerary and just like have a better, more experience. Also, let's talk about the Stone Town tour. So I have my personal opinion on like having the Stone Town tour. I think it depends with everyone, but my opinion on the Stone Town tour, like you paying for Stone Town tour, is that it depends, really, it depends. So if you're in Zanzibar and you want to know like the histories, like you want someone else to tell you the histories, then it does make sense for you to pay for the Stone Town tour. But if you don't want to know the histories, like if you just want to see the buildings and take good pictures and like be one of those like, oh, I've been to that place, I've been to that place, I think you don't need to pay for the Stone Town tour, because one thing about Zanzibar is that you end up going through those same places that you see during your tour, because Zanzibar is very tiny, like especially Stone Town. Stone Town is very tiny. So all the places that they will show you during the Stone Town tour is your daily places that you'll be seeing and visiting during your like day activities. So depending on your situation, you can decide if you're going to pay for the Stone Town tour or not. But at first I wanted to pay for the Stone Town tour, and then a friend of mine was like, what do you want to see really? And then I told her, and then she was like, those are the same places you're going to see when you're walking around. And then it did make sense, because for me, like, I know the histories already, I just wanted to see the places. So I didn't pay for the Stone Town tour. And if you don't want someone to tell you the story, if you know the story and you just want the photos and stuff, you don't have to pay for the Stone Town tour. So to each their own, I guess. And the last thing I'm going to mention in this video is the turtles. So apparently there are a lot of places where you can get their turtles, but I would advise, if you want to do the turtles activities, you go to Nungwi, because Nungwi has a place where you could actually swim with the turtles. Apparently we went to another sanctuary where we were not allowed to swim with them, we just like fed them and stuff. So I'll just say, like, be very careful when you're booking for the turtles activities, because some sanctuaries don't allow you to swim with the turtles. So I think that would be very confusing, especially if you made the concept of your whole trip, you're planning to go swim with them, and then you get to the sanctuary and then they tell you can swim with them, you can just feed them. So I just wanted to mention that for clarity, because I know we were disappointed, so we don't want the same thing to happen to you. So yeah, that's all. All right guys, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys for staying to the very end. Please subscribe and watch out for many more videos that are coming your way. Thank you. Ciao ciao. Adios.